Back at it again. Hey! Yo, what's up guys? Thrill here, Thrill Game Vlogs. This was not meant to be a video, but J-Man has always served as great inspiration for videos, and I don't think I've really talked about dating much, or women, in like a sense of dating in a while. Or if I have, it's been longer. And granted, on this channel, considering how inconsistent I've been recently, I really doubt I've talked about it in at least a good few months, if nothing else. So J-Man was kind of talking about how he wanted to work on self-improvement, and J-Man Speaks, link in the description for his channel. He was talking about the single life, the otaku weeb life, where you're single, and he was pining over a girl. And I'm going to kind of take something one of his friends had told him and the story he had told that I find to be a bunch of bullshit, and to kind of give you my perspective on it. Which was that whole thing about how you're supposed to love yourself. The moment you start loving yourself is when someone else can love you, which is a fucking crock of shit. The only reason why people tell you that is because then you'll be happy, so you won't mind that you're single. That's the reality of that statement, because I know a bunch of people who are dating other individuals who don't love themselves and who have personality problems. Like, that's a bunch of bullshit. It has nothing to do with loving yourself. Some individuals get lucky and some individuals don't. And the way I've always viewed it is that the more eccentric and out off the wall you are is what makes it harder to get a guy or a girl to be into you. Because there's a lot more barriers they kind of have to get through to get used to kind of get to you. You got these basic individuals who literally do nothing but like the same basic shit everyone else does. Think about it. If your major pastime is going to go see new movies, you watch football games and basketball games, and you may occasionally play Madden or on PlayStation or some shit. There's not like a lot of different things you get into. There's not like a lot of different things the girl has to deal with for like the relationship to go somewhere. I mean, obviously there's going to be some common ground in personalities, but I'm saying like it's way easier for that kind of person to find someone that they're interested in and can create a relationship than someone who, I don't know, is like fucking into anime and will fuck around with the lewds and the fucking waifus and weeaboo bullshit culture. And then on the other side, you're sitting there getting really heavy into the game industry. You sit there and you look at developers and fucking publishers and brands and what brands you enjoy and what brands you don't. On top of that, you're like a super tech nerd and you're really into specifics like computer technology, hard drives, fucking solid state drives, all that kind of shit. Like, that's a whole bunch of shit the girl has to either be familiar with or not. And some of you would say, well, they don't have to be into everything, which is true, but the problem is there is no connection there. Like, you gotta have some type of common ground. And with all your weird fucking, or your just very different / eccentric interest, you make the wall a lot higher for another individual to climb. And so the reality of the situation, at least the way I've currently approached it, is that, like, because people always say I'm going to work on themselves, and granted, that's something I'm personally doing too. That doesn't mean I'm going to fuck, if I see a girl I'm interested in, I'm going to just let the girl walk by. I'm not doing that. There ain't no reason why I can't work on myself, but if I see a girl that interests me, have the conversation. Because like, to me, if you stop having the conversation at all and you still want to have because the reality is that guys say that to work on themselves, but you still want a girlfriend. Like, dead ass. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and be like, yeah, I don't want a fucking girlfriend. I'm just done with women because they're nothing but trouble. Which they are fucking trouble. I mean, that'd be to be fair, women have their own set of baggage and troubles. But granted, it's all dependent on the woman you're talking to. But I'm not gonna fucking. I'm not gonna just be like, if I see a girl that gets my attention and I want to talk to her, I'm not gonna be like, well, I'm working on myself right now, so I can't talk to her. I'm gonna talk to her because if nothing else, that keeps me fresh in terms of interactions with women. See, like, most of the time, guys interact with guys and they kind of lose touch with talking to girls, and sometimes they kind of lose their sense of how to approach women and whatnot, because unfortunately there is a fucking art and a game to all this shit, and it's the most tedious and annoying fucking thing to deal with. So being off of that particular game and that particular flow can fuck you over in the future. Because I mean, I'm gonna still work on improving myself. I'm not gonna let a girl. I think because realistically, J-Man, what you really need to do is just not obsess over as much. Because that's like the difference between the way you're approaching it and the way I'm approaching it is that you let that girl occupy a lot. If you're sitting there having drunken rants about her, that tells me she was on your mind way too fucking much. But that doesn't mean you can't have girls on your mind, period. That just means it shouldn't be dominating your life to that extent. Because that's pretty bad, all right? I mean, everyone's going to have a moment where you're in your feelings. I mean, hey, look, I'll be honest with you guys. The two girls that I hang out with the most are girls I've both asked out. One I asked out like 2 years ago, and one I asked out maybe a year ago. Both of the girls I hang out with currently, well, I wouldn't even say hang out. I would say cool with on a coworker level, and one I actually do hang out with outside of work. Both are girls I've asked out before. And yeah, there's those moments of twinge of emotion, but I've recognized that neither one of the girls are really my type in the overall sense. But they're still cool people to talk to. I always get interesting conversations. And I'll be for real with you, it's way better than the girl I think I did the video about like what was that, like 2 months ago? 3 months ago? I did that video about the girl that I had known for years, and I told her I liked her, and she pretty much at this point, and just update on that, no update, because she still hadn't talked to me. She's like, oh, we're cool, but literally has not talked to me since, which tells me that you took that way harder than I thought you were, and it just shows me how fragile relationships are. It's funny, but it's not a big deal. I wish I had have started my relationships with her the same way. I think most of the girls I'm cool with currently, I initially started talking to on a date level, at least in my mind. Whether they know that or not is a different story. But the point is, originally that was my initial talking to most of the girls I know. But guess what? Now I'm cool with most of them. I'm cool with most of them. It's not like I'm sitting there pining for them when I'm not talking to them in a social or on the phone or on social media. I'm just kind of cool with it now because I've talked to so many girls. It's not like I'm not sweating my pining feelings, because I can also now recognize the flaws of not only them, but in me in terms of our of a potential relationship. Like most of the girls I talk to now, even though I initially asked them out, I recognize we wouldn't work in relationships. Because either I'm too different or there are just personality traits I don't think click well anymore. I just don't think you should stop looking. I just don't think you should obsess over it. It's like I think I mentioned, I don't know how long ago, I was talking about my OkCupid profile. I still have it. I haven't really used it, but I still have it, and I'll glance at it from time to time. But to me, the goal is just not to obsess over it. To just put it out of your mind completely tells me that you just don't care about, you have no intention of dating anyone anyway, which is usually a bunch of bullshit. Usually guys do that whole working on themselves thing because they want a girlfriend. They just kind of think that, well, they can't think of anything else to do but to go and get themselves beefed up. Because most girls don't give a fuck about that. There are a lot of girls who date guys who ain't shit. As we all know, that's why we used to always have that conversation about nice guys finishing last and whatnot. Because there are guys who ain't shit who get girls all the time. So I don't even think it's about getting your shit together. I think it's just about running across that right girl. And I'll be real with you. If I see the girl and it's someone I think I need to at least say something to or have some interaction with, I'm going to have the fucking interaction. Because the moment I fucking just stop paying it any attention, knowing it's something I do want in my mind, I'm denying myself happiness for a false idea of, well, I can get a better girl. That's not how fucking love works. Think about it. Realistically, in this world, supposedly, we all have somebody out. There's always someone there out there for someone, right? Everybody has that special someone. So what's the fucking probability that that special someone, which whether you believe that or not, but that special someone is just going to happen to be in the same state, in the same city, in the same county, in the same general area, and in the same place as you in that one specific moment in time? That's a pretty rare fucking occurrence. So you want me to pass that by because I'm working on myself? Bullshit. Because I would think the girl you're into wouldn't be that fucking shallow that you and her can't have a conversation and even talk. Just fucking talk to start off with, just because you may not be where you want to be. Nobody starts off where they want to be, and nowadays it's become more and more obvious that people of our generation are struggling just to kind of get their foot in the door in life, let alone like love and shit. So I would not think a woman would be that shallow, or a guy, depending on your preference. So that's just me personally. I don't. It's one of those things that it's not a heavy focus in my life, but it's also because I haven't run across a girl I want to talk to. I mean, let's just be real. Like, I haven't really talked about dating anyone because I just haven't run across the girl I wanted to talk to, really. There are a few girls, as I've mentioned before, that I'm not cool with on a friend level that I originally talked to. But guess what? They wouldn't even become my friends if I didn't initiate some type of interaction. You have to initiate the interaction, because even if you get shot down and you take it on the chin, you keep it moving. Guess what? That also means you get better at handling rejection, which is something the girls. I don't give a fuck what you say. Women, guys have to deal with rejection way more often than you do. So being good at handling it is better, because then we don't take it as much. And then also, I try to keep my mind open about other things, because I highly also think about the concept that maybe I won't find anyone. And even though that's slightly depressing, it's something I keep in my mind, so I know it's a possibility. So it's not like one of those things where you just ignore that as a possibility for the rest of your life, and then it comes and hits you all at once, and the depression kicks in. Which unfortunately is what people like to tell me. It's why people say I think too much, because I tend to depress and stress myself out prematurely in situations because I do that. So that's something I probably need to work on. I'm just saying on a personal level, don't fucking shut women out completely just because you've had a moment of weakness. We've all had moments of weakness. Guys can relate to guys. We've all had that moment where it's late at night, you're fucking scrolling the internet, and you're just feeling like, man, you wish you had like a girl you could call or text or some shit. You know, like everybody has those like moments of weakness where it's like, man, I wish I could get like a good morning text. Like, especially if you're the kind of person who doesn't have like a lot of people in your life who are that personal with you. Sometimes you just want that personal touch. You know, I want you to text me in the morning, just say good morning, or ask me how my day was. You know, it's not like it has to be some super lovey-dovey shit like how cute you are, or whatever the fuck. But some people, you just get in those fucking moments. And guys know better than of the genders. Guys know way more how that feels a lot. So I don't like people who would chastise you would be like girls who don't understand it. Or guys who've always been around girls, who've always dated girls. Like, we've all had moments of weakness. The point is, the whole point in this is to not let those moments of weakness dominate your life. Don't let your fucking moment of weakness become the you that everyone sees. Which, as I said, when that whole story you talked about when you were a little drunk, that kind of that would make you feel a little soft. And see, guys won't shame you for that, because guys can relate. Girls, that shit's up in the air. Some girls will shame you for it. I think an open-minded woman can recognize why you would feel that way. You spend your whole life getting kind of shot down or feel like you haven't really accomplished anything, at least relationship-wise. I think a girl could kind of relate and be like, yeah, I'd see why he'd be frustrated. I think that's a natural response. The guys get frustrated. Emotionally and sexually. I'm gonna stop. Anyways, hope this was entertaining for you. As I said, all my stuff is in the description. J-Man's channel's in the description. Go subscribe to him before he turns into Obito and he's looking for his Ren. We don't need another motherfucker trying to destroy the goddamn world because he can't get a girlfriend. We don't need to take it that far. Actually, I should have just made that fucking analogy. Don't be like Obito. Be like Kakashi. Because Kakashi lost the girl he was into. Well, at least we don't officially know if he was in the ring, but we're going to pretend like he was for the sake of this analogy. Kakashi lost someone he cared about. kept it fucking moving, didn't fall on the path of darkness. Obito was a bitch about it and decided that everyone needed to die because I lost my waifu. I lost my waifu, man. So the goal is don't become Obito. Become Kakashi. Because Kakashi's cool people. Anyways, this has been the Thrill of Thrill Game Vlogs. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for the support. And I hope this helps someone. Responses are always welcome.